I know there's agencies that promise young students or make them believe that the application process in Germany is super complicated and can't be done on one's own, which I want to discourage here. The application process for German universities is actually quite straightforward, and you can do it independently without the help of any agency. You're free to choose, of course, assistance, but it's not needed from our point of view.
Dreamland Deutschland, a podcast for all those who plan to go to Germany, to study, to learn a vocation, to work, to research, or just to enjoy this beautiful country. Is Germany the red-hot destination for many youngsters in South Asia? In this podcast, we find out what it takes to make the leap from the subcontinent to this country so far, far away. Is Germany a dreamland, or is the reality somewhat different? Or perhaps it can be a dreamland if we prepare ourselves better for it. Our guest today to help us along the way is Mrs. Viktoria Apitzsch, who is the head of science and technology at the German embassy in New Delhi. After studying law in Augsburg, she studied business admin and management in South Korea. And then she worked in Berlin, Munich, Brussels, South Korea, Italy, Moldavia before landing here in New Delhi. So quite a world traveler. Welcome, Mrs. Apitzsch. It's a pleasure to have you here today with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, as the head of science and technology at the German embassy, you also oversee the work of the APS, the so-called APS, the Academic Verification Center. What exactly does the APS do, and why was there a need felt to set up such a body in India? Because it's not very old, is it?
No, it is not very old. It was started a couple of years ago as we saw an increasing interest of Indians who wanted to study in Germany. And, you know, it takes visas to go to Germany, of course. Yeah. And if you want to be a student in Germany with a visa, also your documents need to be verified. So the APS was established to take off the workload of the document verification of our colleagues at the consular section, at the visa desks, and to streamline, you know, this process and to ultimately make it smoother and decisions on visa being taken quicker.
So would you say that bona fide students have profited from this?
I definitely do. In the beginning, it was not easy. Like, we started from scratch with the APS in India. We've come a long way, but with now, for the last winter semester, 50,000 students from India studying in Germany. That marks an increase by 15%. So I would very much say that we succeeded in this regard, and it's working well.
So it also helps you filter away some students who are trying to take the study path to land in Germany for maybe other purposes?
In parts, it does, yeah. Listen, if you want to go to Germany on a student visa, you need to be well prepared. You won't be successful if you don't reach certain levels of language skills, for example. Like, you do need to be either on a good level of English or German even. Maybe we can, you know, talk about that later. If German is needed, that's always a question that I get. So the APS helps with finding genuine students who want to study and make the best out of their study experience in Germany.
Like everything new, I'm sure initially you faced a lot of challenges. Whenever you start something new, there are teething issues. So what are some of those challenges you faced?
Yeah, we did. As I said, we started from scratch with the APS in India, and it was a new concept for the institutions here, for example. It took a while to build the trust, because we need, you know, it's the business of verifying documents, so we need the help of the universities and schools here. And it took a while to smoothen out the process, to gain the trust of them. And honestly speaking, at the beginning, we could sense some frustrations by the application, by the students who applied, which is understandable because the verification process took a while. you know, in this whole landscape of trying to navigate in between the science and school landscape in India. It took a while. And the frustration we also felt, like our colleagues also felt it, like there have been threats, for example, in the beginning, like personal threats. It was not a nice time back then. And it was also not nice for us because the APS is there to enable students from India to go to Germany. And we weren't quite there yet. That was not easy. But as of now, we're doing very good, I might say.
So progress has been made. You said you needed time to gain the trust of the universities and the schools of learning that who are present. So would you say that today they are more cooperative, they've understood the system, and therefore you can work better, faster?
Yes, it has increased definitely, although we still face issues from time to time. For example, some universities have various internet web pages for some reason. So we don't even really know whom to address because there are several potential counterparts available. We also need access to platforms like API Setu or the T-Locker who help, you know, they accumulate the information, which is not always granted. And thirdly, maybe to tell you a funny story, that we sometimes get, you know, we are in the verification business. We need to make sure this document is legit. And sometimes we have to ask questions to a certain uni or school or something. And we get answers to our questions by, you know, free mail addresses by yadiuniversity@gmail.com, which of course can't be used to verify a document. It needs to be from a host or a server which is legit and which belongs to the university. So that are the hurdles we still face at the moment, but it's getting better and better.
Mm-hmm. What would you say, what's the percentage of fraudulent answers you get? Would you have any idea there?
Sometimes when a document leaves some questions open, we do actually call applicants, you know, just to verify some information. And some of the students, I kid you not, they don't even know they applied to this and this university in Germany, which brings me to the topic of, you know, third-party help. I know there's agencies that promise young students or make them believe that the application process in Germany is super complicated and can't be done on one's own, which I want to discourage here. The application process for German universities is actually quite straightforward, and you can do it independently without the help of any agency. You're free to choose, of course, assistance, but it's not needed from our point of view.
So you would discourage people to go to agencies and at times pay a lot of money as well for assistance, which can be dubious.
Exactly. Listen, it's not my place to give you advice on that. It's just that we've been seeing, and as you said, it's true, you can save money and it's possible to do it without an agency. Might be easier to work with one, you know, just because it's less of the process work. As I said, it is a process, the application itself, but it's not needed in my opinion, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, APS has a lot on its hands. They've got a very large number of applications. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I had heard that that they had gone through 80,000 applications and even verified them. But the figure of number of students studying in Germany, I thought was 40,000, but you just said 50, so things have moved on, which is good. What happens to the rest? Why do you think you are verifying a lot more applications than people who are turning up actually for admission at the university?
That is rather easy to explain. Let me first start out by telling you that the number of 80,000 goes roughly in the right direction. In 2023 alone, the APS has verified 35,000 documents or issued 35,000 certificates. And the reason for it, you know, not correlating with the current number is that quite a big amount of students apply first for the APS certificate, and then later they go on to apply for visa and ultimately land up in Germany. It stems from the fact that sometimes the date of graduation from high school doesn't correlate with the date of semester begin in Germany. So you have to wait a year basically. And sometimes I think also because we know that, as I just said, back in the beginning, it took a couple of months for some verifications, some certificates. I think that people still expect that it takes that long. As of now, I think our process time is down to a couple of weeks. But I do actually encourage you to apply earlier, just to be well prepared, and also use the time in between the APS application and the later visa application on your travels to, for example, learn German. If you want to stay and work in Germany, for example, it's still the case that you benefit from good German skills, so why not use the time? However, let me also take this time to encourage people to only apply for the APS certificate if they have made sure that they fulfill the criteria. For example, we found that a lot of students apply for a bachelor's degree where they would only qualify for a Studienkolleg, so a preparatory course. So make sure you get all the information you need and you fulfill all the criteria before unnecessarily applying to the APS.
Where do you get this information?
Of the students.
Whether you are eligible to apply or not. People are quite often confused.
You do need to fulfill certain criteria to apply for a bachelor's degree, be it a certain language level, be it with regards to master, for example, you need a certain bachelor that fits. So we get all the data from the applications. We see where you're from and we see where you want to go, and we notice if it doesn't correlate, and in this case you would not qualify for a visa.
So what, even you could also go to institutes like DAAD helps you, and even Goethe-Institut at times we offer certain orientation sessions.
Sure, the best resources to get information on the requirements, what you need basically, is DAAD, is Goethe, is Study in Germany, the APS website. I think that's about the main resources that can firstly help you out.
Yeah, so it's very advisable that you go through these websites, inform yourself well before you start the process of verification or application.
Exactly, because it's also the application costs, and if it gets rejected, it was unnecessary costs that happened to you.
Yeah. So first thing is inform yourself, go through all the information, then look at filing your papers and collecting everything, and see to it that you have all the right ones to expedite the process.
That is correct.
Because if your paperwork is not complete, it would take APS that much longer
to
verify.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe also let me take the time to tell students who are listening, aspiring students, that the process might seem like a lot, but it is there to ensure that the students, that the students have the best experience and are well prepared, because I feel like if you're not prepared, you will not be able to make the best out of your experience in Germany.
Okay, you just mentioned language skills are one particular skill that they should have. And when I say language skills, good English, of course, if they're going to study in English. But even otherwise, some working knowledge of German is essential. You'd mentioned earlier. Would you also say that also informing yourself about, say, how Germany works, what are the cultural differences, that also helps you start off better? Definitely.
Listen, like I'm new in India, and of course it was my arrival here was made much easier by me informing, you know, myself about customs here, culture here. I think as India, Germany has a lot to offer. Yeah. It's quite a different culture. I think we both, you know, can agree on that. And
both wonderful, but different.
Different climate, different culture, different people. But we are very welcoming, and we are in need of bright minds that come to India and also maybe want to stay for a little while. And it's best if you know what is expecting you. Let me just put it like that.
And they're even contacting networks in Germany. There is a large diaspora. There would also be a possibility. Right?
Exactly. As I told you, we have now roughly 50,000 Indian students studying in Germany. I know for a country like India, this is peanuts, but for us, it's a lot actually, like for a small country like Germany. So you will find, I believe, no university where there's not a couple of Indian students, you know, you can help you get into the way of things.
And universities also have welcoming programs. In Germany, you set up welcome centers as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then correct, universities have things like buddy programs for students who land up. And so you do get support initially, and one should know about it and make the best of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Orientation weeks also.
Orientation weeks as well, initially.
For international students, especially.
Yeah, and international students are often advised to reach a little earlier before the semester gets going, so they get used to everything. So these little things, they help you start off better, and then your the whole stay becomes that much better once you start off on the right footing. Yeah. To go a step further, one often hears criticism that this whole procedure of going to Germany is very long and tedious. I know you've explained it partially already. Yeah, and but people say, oh, it takes so long, and it's just not worth it, and I'd rather go somewhere else, it's so much faster there. And many give up along the way, which I don't think is very advisable. If it is long and tedious, it's because probably it is thorough or whatever. So what would you say to those people who say it takes very long, it is so tedious?
Yeah. I would answer that like an old wise lady that I am. You know, things that are worth it do not necessarily come easy. And to, you know, do my job as, you know, promoting Germany to India, I'd say it's worth it because you will have a great time. Not only we talked about, you know, culturally, climate is really nice, but Germany also has a long-standing tradition in research and innovation. Like if you really want to step up your career, I think Germany is the right choice.
So you say all that time and all that effort that anybody puts in is well worth it because you're going to land up in a very nice place.
It will be worth it in the end. And, you know, it's also needed to ensure that we keep the high standard that we have in research and innovation in Germany.
Not with that, and letting in not the wrong people, or at least not the perfect people, spoils it for others that follow.
Definitely.
And it gives India a bad reputation, or the other South Asian countries a bad reputation if the wrong people land up there. That's in nobody's interest.
You might say that, yeah.
Yeah, it's in our interest too that there is a very strong, very good verification process. So the right people land up for the right things over there. If you just have a very simple system and the wrong people land up, it doesn't always end well for everyone.
Yeah, especially for those people, you know, like I said, it's best to be well prepared. It's best to fit in where you want to go. And this is what the APS also ensures with the high standards. Like, do you have the qualifications? Because if you don't have them, you will not enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
right.
There are cases like that. Yeah. People have landed up over there and then found, oh dear, this is just not for me, or I'm all wrong over here.
Yeah, and then they dropped out, which is such a shame.
It's a shame after all that effort.
Exactly.
After all that effort.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it is a lot of effort, no doubt about it. But I think we should also realize, even when you move within India from a city to another city, it's a lot of effort. And here you're moving to a totally different country with a different system. And all of that effort should be worth it for you once you land there. And you should be along the right way. Now, as I said, for many Indians, especially the younger ones, they think Germany is really a dreamland. Yeah? And I sometimes do feel, at least for, say, research scholars, academicians, and also for people looking to start their careers, Germany is quite a dreamland. Would you agree with that? Or would you say, no, the reality is a little mixed?
No, I would definitely agree. As I just stated, the standard and quality of research and work and your studies, let alone, we have renowned universities, renowned institutions. So the standard is very high. It can definitely be a way forward, a step up in your career. And we are being more and more prepared for foreigners coming to Germany. Like, we are in need of bright young minds who also would like to stay a little longer. Interesting information for many may be that if you made it to Germany and then finished your studies, you will consequently get 18 months of a visa for you looking for a job. So we know that these things take time, and we are well prepared, and we want to encourage and support young people from all over the world to come to Germany.
Germany needs young people, bright young minds, as you call them.
Definitely.
So once they get there and they're on the right path, there is, a dream come true, maybe it will become for them, right? So they have the right kind of landscape awaiting them. Especially in scientific research, Germany is at the top.
It's at the forefront, yeah. We do have not only institutions that are well renowned, but you also get a lot of backing. There's a lot of funding available. The connection to the industry, like for applied sciences, applied research, is really, really good. Which is also, why I told you, it can really advance a career wherever you go afterwards. But I encourage all of you to look into Germany for your studies. Why not?
Yeah, because it's not that Germany is any less Nobel Prize winners, or they have so much that they have given to the world in terms of mechanics, chemistry, also the field of medicine. So definitely it's a good place to be, and not just in the field of sciences, but also in the field of, say, philosophy or humanities. There's a lot happening in Germany. So social scientists are
that is right. Whatever your background, wherever you're coming from, the doors are wide open for you. There's so many opportunities. I encourage you to look into different opportunities wherever you're from. And maybe we see each other on campus very soon.
Thank you very much. I think whatever you've said over here will encourage many youngsters out there to sort of take this path and realize that the process may take a little long, may seem a little tedious, but if you go about it properly with the right research, it won't be that tough. And once you land there, it'll be well worth it and will make a change to your life, a very positive change. I think that's the message that we have from this particular podcast. Thank you very much. I think your messaging was clear. So everyone, please listen to Mrs. Apitzsch. She's told you the right way to go, and follow that. And we look forward to welcoming you in Germany one day on campus, probably. Thank you very much.
Thank you.